So in today's world, with things the way they are, with the federal government, it's probably not a bad idea to go take a look at your resume and begin to update it. But for those of you that it's been a while since you've used a resume or updated it, I have a few tips that might help you. Remember that the world today is not what it used to be 10 years ago. They use a lot of automation and AI to look at resumes, and it will immediately disqualify you if your resume is not done properly. So stay tuned. I'm going to jump right into several of these quick tips and hints of how you can get your resume to look a little more like what the computer and the AI want to see it. All right. So the reality is that I don't know the exact numbers, but according to some websites, well over 85% of all jobs scan through LinkedIn information and use automated tools to scan and look at resumes. Now, there's still human in the middle somewhere, I'm hoping, through the hiring process, but you have to be able to get your resume to a point where it's friendly. And so I show over here on the right side of the screen an example of a resume. You can pay somebody to do these and build them out real pretty and so they look and they're very appealing with artwork and things of that nature. And in today's world, this will mess you up. This is not what resume scanners or ATS systems are looking for. They're looking for what's over here on the left. And this is what we used to do resumes like before we could do them like this. It's kind of funny that we've gone full circle here. But they want to see real text-based resumes so that the computer, the artificial intelligence, can read it easily. So let me just share with you a few things that I've learned along the way. Now, I have not put this to the test, but I am validating everything against several sites that actually look at resumes and tell you where you're at inside of the AI acceptance realm for an ATS friendly PDF resume. So first of all, do you do it? What format do you use or what program do you use to develop it? This resume, for example, here, this resume was built using actually inside of Adobe products to build this out. And this prints out as an actual image. This is a huge no-go. The AI will not see this information. And so you will be passed by for any opportunities that are strictly looking at this. If you want to have the fancy one, like I do, I want to have this. So I keep this posted where somebody could download it if they want. But I always have this downloadable PDF as well. So you kind of got to play both sides of it here. So any other program other than Word and a PDF output is probably not a good path to go. I like to use PowerPoint over Word. I find it a little easier to manage and work with things. But PowerPoint will create your resume in text blocks. And those text blocks are not friendly to an ATS AI. So you want to keep it really simple. So the first tip here, put it in Word. Keep everything in Word. Second thing here is they do like a format, and you can see what I'm doing, but I would suggest asking generative AI to take a look at your resume, like ChatGPT and Gemini or whatever other tool that you're using. They're close cousins, these ATS systems and generative AI. They're both using machine based learning to look at information and do comparisons. So I use ChatGPT to kind of look at the resume and say, hey, is this meeting all of the ATS standards? And here are some things that I've learned, as well as a lot of research that I've been doing on this topic. First of all, it always wants your name in the upper left-hand corner. It just wants it there. Don't worry about making this look pretty. Again, if you want pretty, do something like this, but don't do it for ATS. Then it wants something as a summary, a tagline for you. So that's kind of the second area right there. Then it wants your address information, your email, your phone number, your links. Like this, for example, is a site that I've set up called Lush Resume. And on here, I don't just put my resume. I have all types of information about me and articles I've written, those type of things. Let me see here. So you can see that it's filled, like books, for example. So I have several of the books that I've written. I even have my YouTube channel. I have videos that I've done over the years, and they'll preview, and then you can watch them. They take a few minutes to load. But all of this really on the Lush Resume site. So I would suggest creating some sort of site that you can view. People can go out and view more things about who you are and what you've done. Of course, if you have a YouTube channel or a LinkedIn profile, you might want to link people over to there. Again, when they're looking to hire you, they're looking for information about you, and they want to see if you're a good fit for them. And people like to use click around and look at things. Anyways, that's for the resume part of it, Lush Resume. And then of course put your LinkedIn profile. Notice these headers right here: summary, core competencies. Look, if you put executive summary in there, the AI may not like it as well. Try to stay as close and go away from the things that you think are right, and let the computer help you with this, because it's the AIs that are working this, and you'll want to ask other AIs for their opinion, because that's where it's gonna really lie. Then you'll have personal experience, and there's several other of these topic areas: personal experience, and then you have education and credentials, and publications and media. So those are all kind of the general areas. A couple things here when we're working this: you want to put dates consistent. Now I've used date formats, right? Like 8/2023, for example. It doesn't like it. What it really wants is to see a consistent date format. So as you can see here on mine, I have consistent formats through the entire thing. I spell out the date. I make sure that it's complete. Now, here, this has been years ago, but here I worked for Dell several times, so you can see those dates all listed out here of when I worked for Dell and in the different jobs and things like that I've done, and as well as the VA. You can see those broken out. So you can do multiple dates as well. It doesn't seem to matter much about that. All right, let's get to saving, and then we'll be done with this video. When you save the file itself, it's important that you save it with attribute information. So you can save it. I'm just going to say save it as a copy for this. But right here under more options, you want to click on more options, and notice here that you have authors, tags, title. You want to save it with that information, okay? So when you put it in here as a doc, there it goes. Now some people will ask you for the doc file instead of the PDF, although what I have read is that the ATS systems like the PDFs the best. So let's take a look at the actual PDF that results here, that comes from this, and we'll just open this bad boy up here. So this is the output from the PDF itself, right? And we're going to run this through the AI to see what it does. But here's a trick that you'll want to do. Hold down the control key and hit D as in Delta or document. And you're going to get a description of what of information on this file. Now, you'll want to put in keywords. You'll want to make sure, now these keywords are the same that I took these basically for my core competencies and added some job titles and things like that in there as well. It's pretty easy. Just hit add additional and you can put in all of this information. The scanners like metadata, and that's exactly what you're putting on here, metadata for this file. So you'll want to make sure it's there. You also want to use these as clickable links. If you don't make them quote unquote clickable, then the AI will bark at you a little bit. So let's go and take a look and run this against another AI. We'll run it against ChatGPT and see how well we do with this resume. So we're going to go ahead and just use ChatGPT here, and we're going to say review for, I don't know, for ATS readiness. Okay. So we're going to use that, and then I'm just going to drop this bad boy in there. All right, and then I'm going to hit go. We'll see how well I did. All right. Okay. So here it's giving me all of its hints, right? So these are all good things with the red, right? And it goes through and kind of makes sure. Now, this is kind of funny because I've run this several times, and it will say convert the dashes to bullets, and if you put bullets in, it'll say convert the bullets to dashes. Okay, so then it gives some other suggestions, and then here the dates, it says standardize the format and move it to this format. So sometimes, I mean, just take it for what it's worth, right? It's a generative AI. So generally speaking, it's good. We'll want to upload the docx version unless the system explicitly requests a PDF. So you can run this against multiple AIs. Let's just run this against Gemini and see what Gemini says. So review. All right, review for ATS compatibility. And we're going to do one more time here. All right. We'll drop that in. All right. I'm sorry, I went to use the other AIs, Gemini and Copilot. Neither of them would scan the document properly. So anyways, there's other tools out there that you can use to scan documents and see if they're ATS friendly. So that's about it. Good luck, and hopefully this was helpful for you.